and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 261, take 2. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only, Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good, you know. I got a pumpkin spice coffee fix.
Is this why you was asking me, do I like coffee before we started?
Yeah, because I got a pumpkin spice latte.
I thought they weren't in season. When did they come in season? Or is this the season?
It just came in season. That's why I went and got one. Because I've been leaning off of sugar. I've been trying to cut out sugar and bread and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that pretty successfully, but then this came in and I was like, I'd rather get this out of the way now and have this and then just, no more sugar going forward,
You're such a weak.
That's my excuse, but still.
Come on, dude.
I love pumpkin flavored things are amazing. I want a pumpkin flavored Xbox, to be honest. Get on it, Microsoft.
I'm sure someone will make.
Do the CDs taste like pumpkin is what I want to know.
Xbox Pope, can we get a pumpkin spice Xbox, please? Designed for Crash. If you're listening, please get on it. Last we recorded on Tuesday. Yeah, because it was the day before PlayStation show. We did this whole show. Should Xbox be scared? Blah 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 blah. I accidentally deleted it.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask any questions? Do you want to ask any questions? Do you want to know?
No, I'm gonna let you get away with this. I'm not gonna bother you about it. I'm just gonna, let you move on with it. Mistakes happen.
Well, other than that, I was on GameSpot this week, which is, again, my life is so weird right now. Honestly, my life is the weirdest thing ever. Like, 1 week you're on IGN doing Podcast Unlocked, then you put out a tweet being cheeky, the next week you're on GameSpot. Like, weird.
Yeah.
Weird. It's strange, man. It's strange. But I had, honestly, dude, I'm not to say that I didn't on Unlocked, but on GameSpot, I had such a good time. Like, everyone on that cast was so good to me. They made me feel so welcome from the start. Just normal chit-chat at the start, and then into the show. Let me be me. Let me feel like I could be me. And, I can't wait for you guys to hear it. If you're listening to this, you should be able to listen to it now. I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern it comes out. So by the time this is actually up, you should be able to listen to that. It's an audio-only podcast, so it won't be on GameSpot's YouTube channel. But if you are looking for GameSpot After Dark, you will see my episode. Dude, Crash, before we get into My Xbox and Me stuff, and I know the audience is super new to us, so this is going to be a little bit maybe not normal for them, but dude, I've been on this journey so long, and we've been friends now for a good 3+ years now.
Yeah.
And you've said it. I'm not gonna lie to you. You've been like, just keep going. You're gonna do fine. Just keep going. It's gonna happen. Just keep going. Just keep going. Progression slow, but keep going. Can you believe it's actually kind of happened? Let's not get it twisted. I'm still broke. I'm still Patreon funded. I'm still grinding that every day on Twitch to make money. I'm not funded by anyone. No one's paying me to do this. But to be on IGN. And then to be on GameSpot.
Yeah.
Could what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell is a good question, It's dedication, consistency, and to be fair, you've always been consistent, at least with the podcast, streaming's on and off, but streaming's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've always been consistent. And I think that's the biggest thing. Whenever I talk to you and you're like, oh man, I don't know. I'm like, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because you also, you still had growth. It just wasn't
100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm still under 4K on Twitter. Yeah. I'm still under 4K on YouTube. We're still only not a K on the My Xbox and Me channel yet. But
it's a slow burn. It's 100%. It's not immediate.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just need somebody to remind them, hey, you're making it, you're moving places, you'll just give it time, Yeah.
I think when you've been on it for so long, I think any upcoming content creator needs to know it's it doesn't happen overnight. You do just have to keep grinding day by day. But I'm just looking at this hey, if I can get on those platforms, maybe someday someone will take a risk on me and be like, hey, we like your attitude, we like what you do, we like the way you speak, we like that you call out, you go on shows and call people out, and not in a mean way, but in a, hey, what's going on here sort of way. I did the same thing on GameSpot about Sony, and we'll get to that very, very soon. But yeah, I'm just very thankful for the audience that have been here from the start. Like I say, this is My Xbox and Me, episode 261. You can get it early over on patreon.com/MCFixer and all podcast services around the world. Yeah, rate us on iTunes. That's the big thing we're pushing for right now. Last time I checked, we was at 61 reviews. If you want us to keep growing, if you want this show to keep getting bigger, honestly, we were just talking about it before the show. Since Unlocked, our numbers have quadrupled. Like, it's ridiculous. But we're just shy of 1,000 a month, like each episode. So if you can share it with your friends, if you can share it on YouTube, if you can rate it on iTunes, if you can, whatever you can do, please post it in the groups where you can post shows, you know, all of that stuff. Like, we are so close to having 1,000 a week just on the podcast alone, like on the Podbean and all that stuff where we get our stats. To me, that is wild, because if I told you where we was at before all of this, it'd be crazy. But yeah, I'm super thankful, so thank you to every single one of you that are listening. Patreon producer this week is, of course, Erengard, keeping the lights on, keeping me fed, keeping me moving, keeping the bills paid, helping me pay for the website, you know. So big shout out to Erengard, and he's our Patreon producer this month. Topic of the show this week, Gresh. Everything that was announced at the PlayStation show. Obviously, PlayStation had their conference, their showcase. I'll call it a showcase. Their PlayStation press event that was releasing the PS5's release date and the PS5's price, and we didn't know much else. We pretty much knew we was getting those two things, but we didn't know what else to expect.
Yep.
Obviously, this is an Xbox podcast, and what we're mainly going to talk about is the things that are coming to Xbox. So there's a lot of stuff during this show that is coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
But we're also going to talk about some of the things we're going to be missing out on, which is a shame, but that's just the way it is. And we're going to talk about price, and we're going to talk about the release date. So we'll start off with the price. The price of the PS5 is $449, the same exact price as the Xbox Series X, with that being it's $499. Sorry, I got it wrong in the UK.
I was about to fix you. Yeah,
$499 in the US, $449 in the UK for the this version, and for the PlayStation 5 digital one, it is $399, with it being £359 and 99 pence in the UK. So the Series X parallel, but the Series S undercuts it by $100 in the US.
And then 1 cent for you guys.
And yeah, it is. It'll be it's $250 in the UK instead of $3. Yeah. Which again, that's not an apples to oranges comparison, to be fair, because they're not. The PS5 digital isn't a lesser PS5. It literally just doesn't have a disc tray.
No disc.
So you can't rate apples to oranges that argument. Yeah. But for the conversation of having the cheapest console on the market, the cheapest next generation console on shelves, Xbox does have that label now.
Yep.
They have the two things they're going to be able to market now is most powerful console, which some people care about, some people don't care about, and the cheapest console, which are not two bad things to be able to say in marketing, if we're being honest.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The release date we got for it, Crash, is I'm trying to find the image because I've actually forgot, because it's super muddled, which is very annoying. Very
America, Japan, some other places,
Mexico,
not the UK,
Australia.
It's the 12th.
Yep.
And then everywhere else it's the 19th. Which I'm guessing is they weren't planning on releasing it that early. I'm assuming there was a worldwide launch on the 19th, and they tried pushing it up for wherever they could.
So you think they've pushed up the date because of the Xbox?
Yeah.
Obviously we know the Xbox release date is the 10th. And yeah, it's weird day, a Thursday to release a console.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's real weird.
Like, why would you not have waited till the Friday? But Sony, you do you. What do you think about the prices though? Are you actually surprised by PlayStation Parallel? Are you surprised by the digital? Where are you at?
I kind of expected this, but after like, I am surprised because this digital PS5 doesn't actually take a hit in any sort of hardware, other than not having the disk drive, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they went with that, and then they took off $100 or £90.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that. But other than that, like, this is what I thought it would be. I think it's a great price for Sony. I think Microsoft's at a great price as well with the $300 version. They're good enough to at least get in the door for some people, or even be some people's first console, you know?
Yeah, I think for me, it's I understand we're an Xbox podcast and we're supposed to hate everyone, like we're everyone that's not Xbox, right? But competition is the best thing for Xbox and PlayStation. Like, at the end of the day, we're gamers, and we both. I've got. Well, actually, we both don't. I have a pre-order for my PS5. Chris, you wasn't able to get one, right?
No, my brother got one, so I'm fine. Like,
you've
whatever
got
games
one
I
in
want
the
to play,
house. You've got
I
one
can
around.
play.
Yeah.
So Demon Souls and stuff like that, I can play it. So I'm not in that big of a rush. I'm not too hurt about it. I'll get one at some point. I know that, so I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's again, I want those first party exclusives. I want to try them out. I want to play them. I want to experience them. Like, that is stuff that matters. It all matters a lot. So
I also just want to point out, like, if the PS4 generation wasn't as dominant as it was, we probably would have never got something like Game Pass, which is by far one of the best, if not the best thing to happen in gaming in a very long time.
We'll get to Game Pass very, very soon, trust me.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, on our previous conversation, we were saying, should Xbox be worried? So obviously you guys didn't get to hear that. We both sort of had the consensus of, no, Xbox didn't need to be worried about this showcase. How do you feel after the fact now? Because PlayStation did the thing that they always do, which they always do as of lately, which is they had a fantastic show and they showed next generational games that looked better. It sold me on the machine. Something that I think Xbox has done extremely poorly through the Series X. They've got, again, we've spoken about it before. They've got the price, they've got all that, they've got the release date, worldwide release date, things like that. They've nailed the games as service stuff, the Game Pass, all access, all of those things. Fantastic. But actually selling me a damn game on this console, they haven't done it once. There's not one game on this console that I'm like, I have to play this. Where Sony, with their showing, which again, we'll talk about obviously at the start of the show, they open up with Final Fantasy 16. It's obviously, I'm a new fan to Final Fantasy, but that gets me excited, obviously, because I'm like, man, after 15 and after Remake 2, I'm like, oh my god, I'm on the ground floor like everybody else, for once, where I'm excited to play a Final Fantasy game. Obviously, that isn't coming to Xbox. We found that out now. It is a PlayStation exclusive on console. We don't know the other information about PC because they've been super weird about it. On their trailer, it says coming to PC. And then they've tracked that back and said, no, it isn't, for that and Demon Souls, by the way.
There was a statement that came out that it's something to the effect that it is a timed exclusive in some capacity. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's on PlayStation 5 exclusively for like the first year or 6 months or whatever, and then it comes to PC.
Do you think that comes to Xbox then? It's my next question for you, because PlayStation, again, have done such a, I'm going to say the word good in terms for business, but such a disgusting terms for consumer way of showing their games and the way they market them, which is, I've had people, we're going to get to Harry Potter, I've had people say to me, I can't believe Harry Potter's not coming to Xbox. And I'm like, it is coming to Xbox. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's not. It's only PlayStation. I'm like, a stinger. That's all it takes, is a stinger to confuse people.
Yeah, no, really. So I actually think one of like Microsoft's faults is that they're super clear on stuff that like they're super clear on it when they shouldn't be. I think you get more people interested in your console, even if it's relatively easy after the fact for them to find out, oh, it's not exclusive. It still gets people invested in your console for a little bit, and that builds up over time.
I think for me, it's the case of PlayStation have their tagline is for the players, right? And it's like, well, actually, Xbox are for the players, because I'm not talking about just Xbox as in a console. I'm talking about it putting it games everywhere. We just saw Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps now coming to Switch. Published, you see the Xbox logo in the damn trailer. It's like, that's what being a publisher of a big corporation does. They want to make money, but different strategies. I understand all that. The next trailer that is relevant to us is Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy. Kresh, I freaked the fuck out, mate. I'm swearing there because I freaked the F out, dude. I was, I've said to you like time after time, right? That my expectations for shows are so low now that I go in and I'm like, okay, we're gonna see COD, we're gonna see Spider-Man, we were obviously gonna see Demon Souls, maybe Sackboy during this thing. And when as soon as it was a black screen, I just heard the noise, and I was like, oh my god! You can go watch my reaction on YouTube if you want to go see what I was like. I even watched it back again and was like, oh, you're such an idiot sometimes, Fix. Like, come on. But yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it is. But what did you think of this trailer? Because I was blown away. I was actually blown away.
It looked cool.
I hate you sometimes.
Here's the thing. Like, we knew that this game was being made. We knew that it was likely to be shown at some point. It might have been canceled, but we weren't sure about that. Yeah. Chances are they were going to show it because there were rumors also they plan on showing Harry Potter whenever it was.
Yeah.
This game didn't do any more for me personally, and you have to remember, I'm not like, I enjoy Harry Potter enough. I'm not a Potterhead, and you live with Haley, so that's even, you got that layer on top of it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. That looks interesting. I want to see more. I want to see more gameplay and all that stuff, and what like the loop is in the game. I want to see all that stuff, but it's cool,
Honestly, it blew me away. I was just so happy with what I saw. It was, you probably didn't even play the PS2 Harry Potter game, right? Or the PS1, no, the PS1 Harry Potter game, the Philosopher's Stone. So it is one of the most jankiest piece of crap you'll ever see, honestly. But it's what I imagined. When I was playing that game, this is what I saw. This is like when I played Resident Evil 2, and now I have Resident Evil 2 Remake, right? And this is a remake, but you understand the premise of what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
This is what I saw, Kresh. And the only thing that can make this game better is if it's multiplayer. If they say, I tell you, Kresh, I told you a year ago now, it would have been. It must have, imagine.
If it had like,
I don't want it to be a game. I don't want it to be games of service. I don't want that.
Right.
But
just one co-op game.
Imagine just one co-op mode. Just imagine like what PlayStation are doing with Ghost of Tsushima, where it's a single player game all the way through. And then at post-launch, they're like, "Oh yeah, here's your raid."
I want more games to do that. Really want more games to do that.
It would be
like
crazy.
I don't understand why games don't do that. Like obviously, like you don't have to adhere to the games with service model, but just make it so like you get good at the game, and then we'll offer new and challenging ways for you to attack things co-op wise. Like, I really want. I would love for like Halo Infinite to do that at some point down the line and things like that, right?
Why Halo Infinite?
Because I think it'd be cool in Halo.
Wait, would
have boss fights like big?
Sorry. You're saying, my apologies. I was misunderstanding what you were saying. So you're saying to add like a single player, like a multiplayer piece of content, but that is bigger than that is bigger than. I understand what you're saying now. My bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you were saying that it needs multiplayer. I'm like, does Halo?
No. It has multiplayer.
I know I don't play Halo, but Jesus, does it not have multiplayer now?
I want stuff that's like focused around playing it on co-op, and you bump the difficulty up to adhere to that, as opposed to just having like more health and stuff like that, where it's designed around co-op play. Yeah, I'd love for more games to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, this trailer absolutely blew me away. It looked beautiful, seeing the school, seeing the books turn into stairs, seeing the library. You remember, I've been to the Harry Potter studio tour and done it, so I've seen it all. I've seen the sets. I've seen it all. I've done it. I've drunk the butterbeer. That's a lie. I didn't drink butterbeer. I was too broke. It was expensive. But seeing like the classroom, this could be my persona. You know the way people talk about persona and like how nerd they get with it, with building relationships and going to classes and all. This is gonna be it for me. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
But how in depth do you think that'll be? I'd love it for it to be like Persona.
I don't care.
But I don't know if it'll be like, I don't know. I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to. Excited's an overstatement. I'm looking forward to it to see more about it. If it was, I love the aspect of, especially with Persona, of like going to classes, building relationships with people. I'd love it if this Harry Potter.
That's what I want it to be.
And to be fair, it is the perfect formula for that type of game.
Yep.
Harry Potter is great to do that type of game with. But is it what that'll be?
So
I don't know.
I wanna insert something very important right here.
Yeah.
Both of us have had we've just finished doing the spoiler cast with Laura Kate Dow, who is trans. We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think it's extremely important. We're sitting here, we're talking about this. You're not very hot on it. I think it looks really good. I am 1000% conflicted. Don't take my excitement.
You should be.
Do not take my excitement. I definitely should be. I'll explain to you why in a second. But do not take my excitement of me not standing with anybody, and whatever the case may be. Because I'm so conflicted. Like, this is the most conflicted I think I've ever been in my life when it comes to standing for something. Because if J.K. Rowling was racist, would I buy this game?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing I can do that's the only thing I have a touchstone to for me to try and to understand it. J.K. Rowling is a horrible human being, and we have learnt that now. I have no respect for anybody who doesn't treat everybody equally. Don't care your race, your sexuality, doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You're a human being. So anybody who wants to treat people less than, you are not welcome on my Xbox and me. You're not welcome in our community. Let's make that very, very, very clear. Very, very, very clear. Like, you are not welcome.
Yeah. Especially with J.K. Rowling, like, it wasn't one thing. Nope. It was consistently consistent. And then she put out a book recently. It's like, what are you doing? What's your thought process behind this? Because it's just crazy. Because it also it's so hard for trans people who are fans of Harry Potter, because it sort of contradicts some of like her own sentiments that she wrote into the books. So I can imagine how hurtful that is for them.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 100%.
Everybody who cares about other people should be conflicted with getting this and supporting it. We had a conversation about Ubisoft before, you know, and I think this is that to the 10th degree, because this is a really important franchise for some people.
This is that because it affects people I know and that doesn't disregard what has happened to any of the victims of what's happening in Ubisoft. But Laura is my friend, and I see her on Twitter explaining to people why they can't buy this game, and why they can't support this game, and why they shouldn't support this game, and why, I'm going to buy the game, but I'm going to donate to a trans community or cause. And you need to go follow her on Twitter. Like, you need to go follow her to get a full extent of what she's saying. And again, I don't know how I feel, because again, I'm a streamer, so I make money from streaming video games. I'm going to make money off of the back of somebody that I don't support in any way, shape, or form. She is going to make money off of this. I'm, in turn, as an influencer, going to, on my Xbox and me, talk about that game, influence people to either buy the game or not buy the game, or stream in it, whatever way you want to look at it. Where do I draw the line? And again, I have to bring it back to, if she was racist, would I buy the game? I don't know. And that's something that I'm going to struggle with every single day until the release of this game. Because I understand there's good people that worked on this game. Good people that are just doing their job. I'm understanding that she's not that. We're going to read the story about it in a little bit, but she's not directly going to. She's in no way, shape, or form done any work on this game. Any work on this game at all. She still owns, from my understanding, she still owns the license. She licensed this to WB, the license of Harry Potter, right? So in turn, she makes money on anything Harry Potter. Yeah. She will make, I don't care if it's 1p, because 1p by a million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I've seen the arguments, Crash. I've seen the arguments. She's already godlike rich. So her and her out of pocket isn't actually going to matter. But what do we do? Yeah. What do we do?
I think no matter what you choose, you should think about this long and hard. And if you are super conflicted and super on the fence, go to the people that she's hurting with her statements and listen to them. I think
Yes.
that's like one of the best advices, because neither me or you can really speak on this in any real way. We can have our opinion on what she says is horrible and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, we're not the people that she's hurting.
Yep.
We are a third party viewing this in the whole situation, because she's not even referencing or talking about us in any way,
Shape, or form. That's why I said if she was racist, where would I sit? Because would I be sitting on the place of stupid racist woman, shut the hell up, I'm gonna buy the game because I want to support the good people that worked on it? Would that be where I sat? I don't know. I don't want to sit on this too long, but I'm not about to sit here and praise Harry Potter for everything that I loved about it. Think it looks amazing. Really cannot wait to play it if I end up playing it. But I don't want to even hear, like, I know people have, I'm getting it a lot lately, is why is everything so political? It's not about being political, it's about being right. It's about speaking up for the right things. It's about not being silent about things that need changing in the goddamn world. We're all stuck indoors with COVID anyway. Let's do some good while we're at it.
It's also like J.K. Rowling influences a lot of people. It's not even like the case of like, oh, my cousin said something and I'm just going to ignore him because nobody listens to them anyway. You know, it's not that situation. You should, in my opinion, still talk to your cousin about it or whatever. But regardless, this is more impactful than you might assume at a glance. And if you don't talk about it, there's going to be people who might be on the fence. They'll just be like, yeah, it's okay, whatever. I guess nobody's talking about it. Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Agreed. Yeah.
The next thing they've shown, which will be coming to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It was a campaign gameplay, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looked ridiculously good.
Dude, this started, and I was like, I don't need to see this. I've already seen Call of Duty. It's not going to show me. And then you see him grabbing people and executing people and attaching the grenade to them, and I'm just like, I was wrong. I was absolutely
the remote
wrong.
Car that you then drive and have to avoid things to get onto the plane to blow it. That set piece is fantastic. That whole set piece, and it's as someone who's considered like a Call of Duty streamer at the moment, it's super weird, and like I'm like, wow, yeah, no, this is gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to playing COD again, which. Every year I'm like, I'm not playing the next COD, no way. And they get me every year. They get me every goddamn year, but usually just for the multiplayer stuff. This time, after the last COD campaign, I'm like, F the multiplayer, let's just get to the story. I want to play that. Like,
yeah, I don't know if the campaign quality will be as high as Modern Warfare because it is a different team.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I love the fact that Call of Duty is adding more than just its core gameplay, because for a very long time all Call of Duty really had was that, hey, it's Call of Duty, the gunplay is like really amazing, and they're adding like the slow down with the sniper and the zoom in from like Sniper Elite. Is that what the
Sniper Elite? Yep.
Yeah, stuff like that, the grabbing people, the attaching bombs to them and all that stuff. And I'm like, they're adding more gamey moments to the game, which I think just makes it look so much funner, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. It adds to the experience of what Call of Duty is becoming. And if the last story was let's say this story isn't as good because it isn't as emotional, doesn't have that same human feel that the last COD story did for me. If this is just it improves gameplay in every way, shape, or form, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah, really looking forward to it now, where I wasn't beforehand. Next one is Resident Evil Village. The gameplay trailer was revealed. We got a first look at like the dark fairy tale aesthetic of the game. Creepy old ladies, zombie werewolves. Where's that YouTube commenter now for me, Crash? Remember him?
Where is he?
Where is he? Because it's definitely zombie werewolf type looking things, hybrid things. Go on. You know how big I am a Resident Evil fan.
Yeah, so I have a question for you as a Resident Evil fan. Do you think it's gonna go into like the supernatural realm, or do you think it's just still gonna be like an infection?
It will be a virus. It will be a virus. We've had we've had Ouroboros, we've had G, we've had V. There's plenty of viruses out there. They can keep doing. I haven't. Yeah. With hindsight's 2020. Remember, I wasn't too hot on the first trailer. I liked it, but I'm like, this doesn't seem like what I want. This trailer is very, very, very. Is remnant the right word? Was that the right word?
Reminiscent.
Reminiscent. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Reminiscent. I'm trying to I'm trying to explore my vocabulary a
Go
bit
for
more.
it, you know?
So I'm gonna get some things wrong here and there, but you're gonna correct me, and it's gonna be okay. All right?
What if I don't know the word?
We got thesauruses. We got this.
Ah, we got thesauruses.
We got
You're right.
this. We got this.
You're right.
But it's very reminiscent. Blood, I'll get there. Reminiscent of Resident Evil 4. Very reminiscent of Resident Evil 4. The aesthetic, the little tan that you go through reminds me of Resident Evil 4 a lot. Obviously, the merchant at the end, which we'll get to, is a big callback to Resident Evil 4. I'm excited about this game now because it looks like a darker, grittier Resident Evil 4, which then in turn I'm hoping will influence Resident Evil 4 to actually become a darker, gritty Resident Evil 4. So obviously, I'm the things I'm noticing from this game is that it's definitely a side story, which is weird because it's Resident Evil 8, but it's not 8. It's a village, but it's not village. It's 8. It's that whole thing where this was going to be a Revelations game. Let's be done with Ethan and is it Mary? Oh God, what's her name? Maria. I think it's Maria. Damn, I don't remember. This is how you know I didn't love Resident Evil 7. I've only beat it twice. I've only beat Resident Evil 7 twice. You got to think. Go on.
But your dislike for Resident Evil 7 is biased.
Well, it's an opinion.
It's first person.
It's an opinion. It's
not your
biased.
Resident
No
Evil.
one paid me to.
And it had not your Chris. Not your Chris.
No one paid me to say, "Yo, this game's terrible."
That's not what makes it biased.
What makes
your
it
love
biased?
for Resident Evil blinds you from how good that game is.
Yeah, but that's just having an opinion.
Nah, I want to use the word fix. You wanted to use the word reminiscent. I want to use the word biased.
I actually wanted to use the word remnant, remember, not reminiscent. So
true.
Let's not get it twisted. But yeah, no, I really
on a
like,
serious note.
Yeah. I really like the look of it. I like the aesthetic. I like what it seems like they are doing with the game. Yeah. Will it turn out good? Who knows?
Who knows? I do like that it's even if it is a virus, it's sort of like exploring the virus more, which I haven't played too many Resident Evil games, and maybe there are games that have done it, but it looks more than just zombies, which my experience with Resident Evil, and I haven't played too many. 100% gonna be upfront with it. It's normally just like zombies, zombie dogs, big zombie monsters, and that's about it. If they expand that in any way, shape, or form, that's cool for me, you know?
Well, 7 wasn't that.
They were zombie people who weren't killable.
They
were like zombies to me.
Literally the thing, yeah, but zombies to you doesn't mean it's a zombie. You know I'm right. You know I'm 100%. Okay, let me ask you this. How many Resident Evil games you played? Answer the questions. Do not answer me back. I know I can already see in your face that you're ready to come at me with some bullshit. No. Just answer my questions. I'm not. Just answer my questions.
I've played Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yep.
I've played Resident Evil 5.
Yep.
I've played Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
I've played Resident Evil 6, I think. One of them. I played a little bit.
Yeah.
It was one of the bad ones. I don't know which one it is. Just put in a bad Resident Evil game and it doesn't matter.
Damn. Insert bad Resident Evil game here.
Yeah.
2 has zombies.
Yeah.
7 doesn't have zombies. 5 doesn't have zombies.
5 has zombies.
Where?
They're all zombies.
That's Ouroboros. They're not zombies.
Technically, Resident Evil has no zombies if you're going with that. And
no,
Last of Us doesn't have zombies.
No,
and
Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 all have zombies. 4 has Las Plagas. 5 has Ouroboros. 6 has another virus.
If they're humanoid-looking things that run at you and dogs that bite you with weird tentacles and stuff coming out, they're zombies to me.
They're not.
I understand they're not.
You're not paying attention.
I'm about to side with you right here, Fix. Just let me go with it.
Right.
They're obviously not zombies, and I'm wrong about that. But I like that visually we're getting something that I can identify as not a zombie. That to me in my head when I see it and process it, I'm like, that doesn't look like a zombie. Does that work for you?
I'll be honest with you, it doesn't, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Resident Evil hasn't had zombies in a very long time, and I'm glad they're continuing in that route.
That's better.
Does that work for you?
That's better. That's way better.
There.
I'm proud
There
of
you
you.
go.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Next up is Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. It's come out of nowhere. Devil May Cry Special Edition was announced at the PlayStation 5. It is coming to Xbox One as well. The new edition comes with fast-paced turbo mode and a playable Virgil. Yeah, Virgil, and a new difficulty called Legendary Dark Knight. How are you feeling about this one? Because you love Devil May Cry 5, and so did I.
Yeah.
I was watching, I was like, oh, is this just a new upres? And I was like, oh, wait, he's playable. That's the thing that I noticed. I was like, another new playable character? That's really cool.
Yeah. It looks like that takes place after the ending of the last one.
Yeah, it does.
So I wonder if there'll be more like Dante gameplay as well.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's just Virgil.
Because they've got that mode. Like what's it called? I don't remember what it's exactly called, but there's like a time trialing mode where you can just play as all the characters, I think. Something like that got added to the game after post launch. So yeah.
It would fit there as well, yeah. Okay.
Moving on to the next thing that I really want to talk about, I'd say the rest of this is all very PlayStation focused. Demon Souls comes. PlayStation have got this thing called PlayStation Collection. It's not Game Pass. It's just here's an entry to next gen. We don't have many games, so play the backwards compatible games that we have. That's what it is.
I think that's unfair. I think this is for the people who didn't get a PlayStation and they're looking at both consoles and they're like, Xbox is $300 cheapest. What can I do to get into it? I think they're like, oh, we got PlayStation Collection for all the games we might have missed.
What I will say is it has some fantastic games in. God of War,
that being said,
old game's old.
Doesn't hold a candle to Game Pass.
No, it's not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. I'm not even putting it close to Game Pass. Not even don't even put the two in the same sentence. All right?
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't put PlayStation Plus Collection in the same sentence as a Game Pass, right?
Sometimes I just want to murder you. You know, I can't say that.
You guys heard it.
I can't say that because if something happens to you, I'm now suspect number one. They're gonna go through the podcast and be like, no, but you never know, bro. I could have sent someone.
You could have hired someone.
That's on.
If something happens to me,
crap.
If I'm hospitalized, if I die,
Jesus.
If I fall off a plane, anything, blame Fix. Fix did it.
I didn't. Oh God!
Please. If I break my leg, Fix did it.
I'm
gonna break my leg right now,
bro. Too much. Overall, what did you think of the PlayStation press conference? Should Xbox be scared with what was shown? Has PlayStation positioned themselves? Their launch lineup is extremely strong, Crash. I have to say, I was going through it after the show, yesterday, or the day before, whenever it was, comparing the two, and I think now is a perfect time to talk about it because why the heck not, right? Let me quickly bring out my list, and I will go through the. Apparently, it didn't save.
Are we talking just launch lineup?
It didn't save. I sat there for a good. God no, actually, I might put it on Word. I think I did put it on Word online. That's probably why it didn't save, Crash.
Let's hope.
That's probably why it didn't save. Oh, I think I'm right. Crash. I think I'm right. So, again, it's taken very long to load. This is not my fault, everyone. Do not come at me in the comments below. Do not come at me. First party from Xbox. Day one. Gears Tactics, console exclusive.
Yeah.
Flight Sim, console exclusive. Yakuza Like a Dragon, timed exclusive. Tetris Effect Connected, timed exclusive. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Dirt 5, Watch Dogs, and The Falconeer.
Okay.
So, The Falconeer, Watch Dogs, Dirt 5, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed, all coming to PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
So, PlayStation's launch lineup that we know of from a first party. This is first party, which I was talking to someone who was working on Big Adventure, and they were saying it is still first party because they're under external studio. So Sumo Digital is the one I'm talking about there.
Got it.
So that's very interesting.
Okay.
Destruction All Stars from Lucid Games. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales from Insomniac. Astro Playroom from Japan Studios, which is a packing. It will be on your PlayStation 5 as soon as you get it. And Dark Souls remake, which is from
Demon
Bluepoint.
Souls.
Demon Souls,
Yeah.
apologies. From Bluepoint. If we were going strictly off of launch lineups, which would you go with?
PlayStation.
It's not even a question, right?
No, I don't think so.
But
At least for me.
We're not just going off of that, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think this is the place that Xbox has missed the hardest, because I look at it and I go, Gears Tactics is a console exclusive, cool, but I've played it on PC, and I know what you're saying, viewer. Well, I haven't got a PC, so I get to experience that game. So it is new to me. I get that, but it's not new to a wide variety of everyone. So another same with Flight Sim.
Yeah.
Go on.
But also on Gears Tactics, you don't need a super powerful PC to play it on PC.
No, but
I was able to play it on PC.
looking.
I understand that. I'm just saying. It'll be better looking, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, it's not one of those cases where you're like, oh, you needed at least a GTX 1080 or whatever. I have a GTX 960 or something like that.
Yeah.
So old graphics card.
Yeah. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Great game for the platform to have as a timed exclusive to try and help it in Japan. Is it going to move many units on Xbox? I don't know. Yeah, I could see it being a flop. I could see it being a flop.
Especially because it's not your traditional Yakuza game.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's totally different as well. Turn-based. Looks cool. It does look really cool, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Tetris Effect. It's a game connected. Sorry. It's a game that is already out on other people's consoles, but has multiplayer. I'm trying to paint a picture here of get what I'm saying. I'm not saying these are not great games. I'm not saying they're not going to be fun, but come on.
Yeah. No,
come on.
You're absolutely right about that.
Compared to the first party lineup that PlayStation has on day one, it's night and day. It's night and day. Lucky, again, games we assume are a launch for the X, Fortnite, FIFA 21, Rainbow Six Siege, NBA 21, Madden 21, Marvel's Avengers, Call of Duty Cold War, enhancements from Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Forza Horizon 4, and Gears 5, all enhanced. I get that. And then games coming in the launch window, we've got Bright Infinite Memory, Echo Matcha, the Ascent, Scorn, The Medium, Call of Sea, Second Extinction, 12 Minutes, Crossfire X multiplayer, and the single player stuff from Remedy. There's content coming in the launch window. There's stuff there that's interesting for the Xbox, but it's not there day one. And that upsets me. It upsets me we haven't got one of the big first-party studios releasing a game. And I understand what you're going to say. Halo. It was meant to be there. I understand, but it's not there. And I can only go on things that are there, okay?
I agree. So, I don't think they were expecting to delay Halo, is honestly what it is.
I'm glad they
did,
I
agree. Though. I absolutely agree. I don't think they have any of those big titles. Like, you could technically just wait for whenever Halo comes out or whenever the next big Xbox game comes to get yourself a Xbox One S or whatever. Or a Series S, not One S.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So, yeah.
Crash, we've gone for a long time, but let's get into the fan email, shall we? Which is, if you want to email in, myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can @ me on Twitter, @MCFixer, or Crash @CrashNickPlays. And hit us with the hashtag MXAM, and whatever your question is.
Or the My Xbox and Me Twitter page as well.
Yes. This question comes in and says, so leading up to this gen, Xbox has been championing games across the platform. While Sony championed the idea that they believe in generations, now that we are closer to launch, it appears the roles have swapped. Xbox has next-gen exclusives, and a majority of PlayStation's big next-gen exclusives have been revealed as current-gen as well. To recap, A Dusk Falls, Avowed, Everwild, Fable, Forza Motorsport, The Gunk, Medium, Scorn, Hellblade 2, Stalker 2, State of Decay 3, Warhammer 4000, Dark Tide are all title exclusives to the Xbox Series X. You didn't say Series S here, but I'm going to add that too. And won't be on Xbox One. While Sony has Ratchet & Clank, Destruction All-Stars, Demon Souls, Final Fantasy 16, Astro's Playroom, Returnal, God of War 2, Ghost of Tsushima 7, Gran Turismo 7 exclusive to the PS5 that won't be on the PS4. This is a big question. Titles such as Project Athena, Deathloop, Ghostwire, Yakuza 7, and Phantasy Star Online 2 are timed exclusive to one platform. My question is, why do you think Sony lied about marketing leading up to the launch of the PS5 and its games, claiming to believe in generations and exclusives when Xbox has more in both camps, yet the general public is more willing to forgive Sony than Xbox? What is this nonsense? Personally, I'm glad more games are on more platforms. I don't care too much about the generation exclusives. I just don't like seeing people bashing Xbox for something Sony is more at fault with. From Zyger1337. Zyger, thank you for this gosh darn email. Thank you. Because let me tell you something, Crash and listener. This is bullshit. I'm not going to name the websites because they're out there. I'm not going to name them. But there's articles up where it's next gen is holding back. Xbox is holding back next gen with cross-generation titles. Then this news come out. Sony is pushing the market forward. Literally, the article.
Ooh, that's
literally.
Bad. Yeah, no, that's bad.
I don't get it. The problem with me, and I brought it up on GameSpot's show as well, which for me it's, and Tamor said, the reason he thinks that, and you'll listen to it, please go listen to it, but he said, along the lines of this, I'm not going to quote it verbatim because I don't actually know what it is, but along the lines of, we don't know all of the information yet when it comes to Sony, where we do with Xbox. So we know when Xbox is actually doing something wrong, we don't with Sony. At the time, we didn't have much time, so I couldn't push him on it a little bit more than I would have liked off. But I think that's kind of bullshit anyway. They lied. They straight up lied. Like I said on GameSpot, I guarantee in their wording, they didn't lie because they're smart. They're not dumb. They're not going to get caught in a lie like that. But they lied. They did lie about their games and the fact that they were believing in generations and there should be cut-off points and all of that they said.
But do they not? Do they not believe in generations? Like, I think that statement was more than just games. But there's a huge difference. Xbox blurred the line on generations themselves. That's literally where the difference comes in. Xbox messaging and Sony messaging. I completely agree. I think it's kind of weird. Like, articles like that are dumb. 100%. The articles that there have been articles like slaying Xbox from IGN, other people, places have been making articles like that. I don't know if IGN's had article, but they've had the memes on their Facebook page and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So it's like, that's dumb. But really the reasoning this happens is because Microsoft's messaging was like, it's all one generation. Where Sony's like, oh, it is a separate generation. And one of my favorite things about both these is that, like, hey, there will be cross-generational games. You have, your Spider-Man for Sony, and then for Xbox, you were supposed to have Halo. I'm assuming that'll still be cross-generational. But they're also like, hey, Everwild is going to be next-gen only, and Fable's going to be next-gen only, because that's the way we can get that vision.
Mm-hmm.
And Sony's doing the same thing on their side. That, for me, is the best thing out of this, is that, like, yeah, there will be cross-generational when it's like, it makes sense, and scaling it down is more so just a graphical thing instead of like a gameplay thing.
Yeah.
But I do agree. A lot of people made a big deal out of nothing, but it is also part of Microsoft's problem with their marketing with it.
Yeah. No, I actually think you made a great point earlier on in the show where you said Xbox are too transparent in a way.
Yeah.
They're too honest. They wear their heart on their sleeve a little bit too much. They're too nice. I feel like it's like a football team that's too nice. I mean, when I say football, I mean soccer, where it's like they're not getting enough of their cars, they're not doing dirty fouls, they're not doing the dog work a little bit. And I feel like I love Phil Spencer, 2 bits, in Phil We Trust, all of that. But maybe it is a case of being too nice and not to win the generation. I feel like you need to be a little bit nasty. You need to cut off players for exclusives, which Sony are doing. You need to be a little bit muddy with your messaging, which Sony are doing. You need to try and get the upper hand in every way, shape, or form that you can, which Sony are doing. Xbox are just not doing that.
To be fair, in some aspects, Xbox have been trying to do it, where Sony had the messed up pre-order launch, and then Microsoft tweeted like about right after, like, oh, we're gonna have it on these websites at this exact time and stuff
I get
like
what you're saying. I don't think that's marketing. That's just social media, bro. And I understand that's a part of marketing. Don't come at me.
But
I
you're talking
totally
about like
understand.
official
I'm
like
talking
statements
about.
and
I'm talking about
statement
exactly.
releases and
Like
stuff.
I'm
Got
talking
it.
about not things people can miss. Like
Got it. Yeah.
like I
No,
don't know.
I agree.
The media bias is ridiculous. But I tell you what, we said it on the last episode that didn't go out because I lost it by mistake. Xbox did trend when PlayStation was announced.
Did they?
People were saying, because Xbox is the most, people in the media that I watch and follow were saying that they are using the Xbox as their main console for third-party titles. Maybe the shift is happening. All access has changed the game for a lot of people. For a lot of people when it comes to getting a next-gen console.
Is there a story later on about the pre-ordering Xboxes and stuff like that?
Yes, there is.
Okay, we'll talk about it then.
Cool. I do see the bias. I don't understand it. I will keep championing in fairness across the board. Yeah. I'm not championing Xbox. When Xbox mess up, we're going at Xbox. Yeah. When PlayStation mess up, we're going at PlayStation. But I also just across the board, people need to start opening their eyes a little.
Yeah. I also just want to point out that because Microsoft gets slayed for something and you don't think they should, doesn't mean when it happens to Sony that you start killing Sony for the same exact thing.
I agree.
And I see that happen so much on Twitter where I'm like, that just makes you a hypocrite when you're okay with when one does it, but because they got punished and then you see Sony doing it, you start complaining about Sony doing it. It just doesn't add up and it just muddies the whole argument you had in the first place.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Next question comes in and says, did you guys hear about the guy who can't play xCloud because his Xbox Live Gold for hitting a million gamer score first? Maybe a fun quip on that. I didn't hear about it. That's kind of dumb though, but that's something they also can't beta test.
Yeah, that also apparently got fixed already, so.
Okay, then perfect. But yeah, like, you can't do anything about that, so again.
Absolutely.
And the other question from Little Smitty says, where are you guys planning on pre-ordering your Series X/XS from? I'm going to try and get mine on Amazon, but I'll probably end up with Game because I hate Game, so that means I'll definitely end up there.
Yeah.
What about you?
Maybe Microsoft Store. If I can do the all access thing, which I still you have to go through and do the credit line thing.
Oh, okay.
If I can do that, I am a little bit worried about pre-ordering, only because Microsoft has a clear date and a clear time that pre-orders go live.
Yep.
It's easier to set up bots to buy the things. We saw that with GeForce.
We did.
So I'm a little bit worried that might be a problem with it. And I wonder if the blunder Sony had on their side, which I don't necessarily think it's Sony's fault. I think retailers like letting those go out in the wild early might have been in Sony's favor in a sense.
I don't know if I agree with you on this not being Sony's fault in a way, because there clearly wasn't a clear message to retailers.
Yeah,
the conversation clearly didn't happen. Where with Xbox, they're clearly doing it the quote unquote right way.
But I think Xbox
that's
saw
a whole
what
different
happened with
conversation.
Sony. Yeah,
and they were already going to do this. I guarantee it. Yes. Well, this is not reactionary. This is something they were going to do, no matter what. But yeah, I'm going to try and get mine on Amazon. If they're all at the same time, I'm going to try and get mine on Amazon because I tried to get my PS5 through a game with my business card and it didn't go through. But so I had to end up scratching for the Hades savings card, or our savings card. Again, I have to call it Hades because I'm not allowed to because I'll spend all the money. But yeah, so and with Amazon, it's already set up. I just need to click and go, done. So yeah, I'm probably going to try and go Amazon if possible.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Next one we have is the ship has sailed on this, but what would be your thoughts on the Series X/S coming without a controller and cutting the price further? Existing controllers are compatible with the new console, and those of us with Elite controllers will likely stick to that. From Arico. I think it's a fantastic idea, actually. If you could
disagree.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I think if there wasn't a Series X and a Series S, I think this idea makes sense. But if you do separate, you make 4 bundles out in the market.
Okay, when I was saying I agree, I wouldn't do it straight away at launch. I would do it.
Got it.
I would do it, and maybe
Down
I
the
would
road.
only do it through Microsoft. I wouldn't let
Yeah.
everybody have this. I would make
Got
this
it.
like an in-house thing for hardcore people, because you wouldn't want to buy one for your kid and it ends up not having the controller.
Not having controller.
I'm talking
That
about
was my
like
whole
strictly
point.
from the
Yeah.
Microsoft store. I'm talking. How about we do this? You don't need to buy a HDMI with it. You don't need to
Just
get
get
a
the
power
box.
lead with it. All you need is the Xbox Series X, and we're gonna do it that much cheaper for you. It's what is it, $500, right? So let's say they got the price down, £50 for the controller. The power lead costs you £1. You know, the HDMI costs you £3. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you got it down
$4.30 or whatever.
$60 cheaper. Let's say.
Yeah.
I'd do it all day long. All day long,
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah. I agree with that. But I don't think
It will
do
never
that.
happen. It will never happen.
Yeah.
It will
Because they
never-
get more profit when they sell you the controller with it as well.
exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, no. In that regard, if it's like, oh, you go to the Microsoft store directly and you get it there, or the website or whatever, I agree with that. I think in general, like having more variants, like official variants on shelves, I don't think that helps. I also don't think it makes it confusing for parents who go into the store and they want to buy the cheapest console. And they're like, oh, this Xbox Series S comes, it's $240 or whatever.
Yeah.
Without the controller and everything.
My thing also is you don't allow for dum-dums like me. I ordered a PS5 with an extra controller because I panicked.
Yeah, I saw you put it up and it came with the extra controller. I was like, that weird. I don't know why Fix would buy an extra controller.
Who the fuck am I playing with? No one likes me. I haven't got any friends. Like,
You got Haley. You could play Little Big Planet with her.
that's actually not a bad chat. I'll tell you what, that is actually not a bad chat because there's a few games. I'm happy I've got it. I'm happy I've got it because at least the option's there now, where beforehand it wasn't. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I saw it. I'll tell you what happened because the link leaked, and I panicked and I couldn't find the other one. So I saw one at $509, forgetting it was $450 and not £500. It's $500, being like, oh, that's just £10 more, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then when I got my pre-order, I looked and I was like, oh, what an idiot. You're such an idiot. You're such an idiot.
Who knows, if you waited, you might have not gotten it.
No, I would have.
It was available for a while on game.
I could have got like 5.
Oh.
Let me put it this way. If I wasn't around you guys anymore, if I wasn't taught about scalping being bad and stuff like scalping being bad and stuff, I am 100% that guy. I would have bought 1080s and sold them. 1090s, they're like 380s, right? What are they called?
3080s.
3080s, thank you. I prefer 380s. We should go with those. Wouldn't be right, but it still sounds good. I would be that guy. I was, because that's the way I was brought up. You hustle to make money. If you're not, I was told, don't become a drug dealer. So if you're telling me flipping Xboxes and PlayStations is not being a drug dealer, cool. But I understand the ramifications of it now. I understand. But yeah, I would have. And yeah, I sat on that link for about 20 minutes and it was still gone. I was just like,
oh,
I really could just
I'm
buy as
tempted.
many as I wanted. Especially when we're in this scenario right now with COVID and stuff. And I'm like, and obviously streaming's up and down. I'm like, just selling this to cover the cost of my PlayStation would be amazing. Not that I would sell it at 1,000. I'd buy a couple and sell them at like
And have it
700,
even price.
600, blah, 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 and then make the 1,000. That's what I would have done. Instead, I partnered with Raid Shadow Legends, which we're not talking about on this podcast because they haven't paid me, and that's going to cover my PlayStation, hopefully. We'll see. I need 20 more people to download it. We'll find out. If you want to help me out, DM me on Twitter. I'll send you a link. If you are someone that actually has a PC and wants to help me out, DM me on Twitter literally as soon as you hear this, because it runs out in 4 days.
Not an ad for my Xbox Me, but Raid Shadow Legends is actually kind of fun.
It's
not
good.
A bad game.
It's actually good. Memes are just memes. It's actually a decent game.
Yeah.
Next one says, do you think the rumors of low PS5 stock, if the PlayStation market itself as a premium product, helps or hinders Xbox consoles sales? From Despawn. Crash?
I don't think it hinders. I think if anything, it helps. It's weird because we already had this conversation. I don't think it hinders it. I think it helps it worst case. I think it doesn't affect it best case.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
I generally don't think it matters anymore. No. After seeing the conference as well and stuff, especially at launch, all of these consoles are going to be sold out.
Yeah.
The vibe around these consoles, even the X. You remember, some of you don't remember Xbox One's launch. Some of you don't remember the pain of what I had to live through. Because you were PlayStation people, or you were PC people, or you just didn't care.
Yeah.
I had to try and justify everything. Sharing games, I had to try and justify that. Like, to my friends, I don't think was doing my Xbox to me at the time. I'm talking to my friends, like, yeah, but we can game share together. I had to justify some of the dumbest shit I ever had to try to get my friends to buy that damn console, and they didn't. They bought a PS4, hence why they won the generation and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter Despawn. Honestly, I think the price is gonna speak for itself on both, and the games are gonna speak for themselves on both, and that's all you're gonna need to worry about. Let's skip these two. And we're going to go with Sarah's for the last question. And we'll talk about those two maybe next week because we ain't running out of time. Okay. Ubisoft is set to release a new game every month for the next few months. Watch Dogs in October, Assassin's Creed and Just Dance in November, Immortals Phoenix Rising in December, Prince of Persia in January, Far Cry and Riders Republic in February. Ubisoft has stated at the beginning of the year that 5 of their big titles would release by 2021 of March. After their huge delay announcements, all of these games have been announced, except for one. Rainbow Six Quarantine. So when do you think the release of Rainbow Six will be? Will it be their March game, making one big title for the next year, or year and a half reality, or is the game in trouble development due to the ongoing pandemic? Crash?
I think it's just a timing thing. I think they're trying to slot it into the best spot. I think there might be some trouble with changing the name because they don't want to put out Outbreak. I don't think the game's in any sort of like development hell or something like that. I just think they just want to get it out and have it do as well as possible.
Fair enough. Yeah, I generally think the name is the biggest problem of why we're not seeing it as such. Again, it's hard. It's hard to put out a game like this where people are living through a pandemic and having to quarantine in real life. Like, they don't really want to think about it in their video games, in their media. So I think it's a naming issue. I think they're going to change the name. I don't think it's in development hell personally, but only time will tell, to be honest with you.
It's all, they can also kind of like afford to hold this off because they have so many other games coming out, so many big games coming out.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Let's jump into what's been in our box, Crash. What have you been playing this week, my friend?
I played some Spellbreak.
Oh,
yeah. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's a BR game. Play as wizards. Better than Harry Potter.
Whoa. No.
It's cool. Abilities interact with abilities. It's I think it's like 40 people per match or something like that. So it's not the biggest, but it's a smaller map and it's a little bit more hectic. Slow times to kill, but you can't really run away, so it doesn't have the hyperscape problem.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. If you like BRs, I recommend checking it out. If you like Magic, check it out maybe. It's a really cool concept. I'm excited to see where it goes. I also played some Wasteland 2.
Oh.
And
wait, you mean Wasteland 3?
Wasteland 3, not Wasteland 2.
Oh, yeah. Did you now?
I did.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like when you catch me off guard like this because I haven't played it yet, and it means you're gonna beat. You better not beat it before I do, because that'd be a game you beat that I ain't beaten, and you'll have a go at me for it. So I don't want that.
It's fun. It's cool. I don't see myself ever playing that game solo. I enjoy it as a co-op game.
Wait, whoa! Wait a minute. Who did you play with co-op?
Somebody.
It better have been Ben. As long as it was Ben, I don't care.
You don't care if it was Ben.
Okay, then fine. That's absolutely fine. So what do you actually do in the co-op then? Because I always wondered how it works co-op wise.
It's just, it's like Gears Tactics, but when it's one character's turn, it's your turn, or it's the other person's turn. And then everybody takes their turns.
That's actually cool. Like, so you're communicating the whole time of like what you should do and stuff like that. Oh, that's actually. Can you name the characters and stuff?
You make your own character. You choose the weapon and stuff like that.
We should stream this on my Xbox and me. Definitely.
We should. We should. If we still streamed on my Xbox and me, yeah. I agree.
I've been busy, bro. I've been really
busy.
Come on.
That was just a joke.
Come on.
That was just, that was just a joke.
But is it? Do you think you'll beat it, or is it a game you think you'll beat, or not really?
if I find time, if me and whoever I'm like, if I start playing with you and we go through it and we
Yeah.
decide to beat it co-op, sure. It's not a game that I'm gonna rush through on my own. I don't think I'm interested in enough in it on my own. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I think dialogue choices, like if you're in a conversation, one person controls the conversation, but if there's an option in a conversation that you don't have the stat for, but the person you're playing with, you can transfer the conversation to them and they can continue from that point, and they can go for like that. And I think that's really cool. There's a lot of like RPG elements of it that are actually really interesting and really well done that I think are really cool in a co-op setting.
I definitely have to play it then. It sounds like a game I
You can
have to play
on,
by the end of the year.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Fair enough. Anything else you've been playing?
No, that's it.
So we're not going to talk about WWE Battlegrounds.
Oh yes, I forgot.
That we just played
today.
for 3 hours
this
morning.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we played WWE Battlegrounds. Yeah.
This was code provided by 2K, just so we're both very clear. Thank you to 2K for providing us with codes for the game. I really like it. I have been on this podcast asking for a good wrestling game for a long time. I've played about 3 to 5 hours max. 2 seconds, because I've got a phone call. We'll answer it on the show. Hello, Haley. You're on my Xbox and me. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. You're disturbing my show, so I assume you're on your way home and want to know what we're doing about food. We're having pizza. That's why I put you on the show, girl. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Okay? So, that's what we're doing.
Pizza.
Can you hear her, Crush?
I heard P.
Oh, she's saying pizza.
I figured.
She's saying pizza. All right, cool. I'm going, but I'm doing the show. But I love you, right?
Bye, love you too.
Bye. That's the type of stuff you get on this show, everyone. That's the type of stuff
you just wanted people to know that you have a fiance.
I wanted people to know she's not made up. I needed you all to know she wasn't made up.
She's real.
She's a real person. Yeah, for me, I really liked WWE Battlegrounds. I thought it was the perfect balance between dumb fun and arcadey fun, where I did a battle. They've got this mode called the Battleground mode, which is like their version of it's a Royal Rumble that is endless, with people keep coming in until you get eliminated, and then it ends there. I've won it once, so if someone doesn't spawn in after a certain amount of time, you win. I did it today, and I eliminated 10 to 12 people, and I was going for half an hour. Then, what happened, Crash? This is my last match before I got off. The servers went down again, and that's my biggest problem with this game. The servers are trash at the moment. It come out today, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I think that might be on your end, or it might be UK servers or something like that. Because I didn't get disconnected once in all my time playing. I had the game crash on me twice.
Oh,
but I didn't have a disconnect on me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope it weren't my end. I did good internet, you know. Yeah. I hope not. But yeah, I like it. I like the whole premise of the game, which is you have a select characters that are there, WWE superstars that are there from the start. Then you go in. The whole progression of the game is you're unlocking more superstars every single time. There's exhibition mode with all of your normal common modes in a wrestling game, and then there's got this tournament mode which is online. The online, actually, while you're in matches, was pretty good for me. I know you had a lot of issues though with lag.
Yeah.
So we had two different things where like I couldn't connect to certain things or got disconnected, and you got lag a lot during your matches.
Yeah, but I think that's my Xbox, because my Xbox doesn't let me connect with an Ethernet cable anymore. Because it happens when I try playing online in Smite or Halo, is where I'll just get random lag spikes. And I don't know. I have no clue why my Xbox won't let me connect an Ethernet cable. I've tried everything imaginable, and it just doesn't work.
Luckily, there's new consoles coming.
At this point, I'm like, just wait for the Series S, bro.
Yeah.
I'm good till then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's a lot of fun.
And
I haven't liked WWE in general in a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's just an enjoyable, like, hey, I just want to mess around and beat some people up game. I think it's cool. I think there is some level of depth. I don't think it's super deep because it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
I will say there are 4 character types, or is it 5? It's 4. It's 4 character types.
5.
And is it
Brawler, Powerhouse, Technician, All-Rounder.
High Flyer, and All-Rounder.
And Fireflyer. There you go. 5.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have 5 different types, and whether you're playing 2 characters of those 2 different types, they usually play the same for the most part.
Pretty
So
much.
if you
Yeah.
have 2 brawlers, it could be Stone Cold Steve Austin and Seth Rogen. No, what's his name?
You're on about Seth Rollins, but let's go with Big
Yeah,
Show
Seth
instead
Rollins.
because they're both brawlers.
Yeah. You could have the both of them, and they play basically the same except for the finisher.
Yeah, like your signature and finisher are different.
Yeah.
So they're obviously iconic to their characters to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game.
Yeah,
It's not a $60 experience. It's $40 to $50. The $50 is the deluxe, which if you want all the characters quicker, go with the deluxe. It's worth playing if you like WWE and you like arcade games. I think it is miles better than All Stars, which is the game it's going to be compared to. It has that similar aesthetic. I like this one way better. This one's a little bit more grounded. It's still over the top and crazy, where Superstars, I think, just went way too far. That brings it in. It has that playgroundy style, and it works. So I really, really liked it.
Yeah,
a lot.
I know. Don't Give a Bit in your when he was in your stream earlier asked if you don't like WWE but you like fighting games, should you get this game? I think if you're going into it, for anybody who has that question, expecting like a fighting game like a Dragon Ball Fighters or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, no, do not get it.
Yeah,
it has a very, very base level of some of that stuff with the meters and all that stuff, but for the most part, it is nothing like those. If you're not looking for an arcadey brawler game, do not go for this game. If that is what you want, this is it. If you like WWE, I think this is probably a great game for you. I think there's microtransactions, but they aren't invasive. Like, you can earn everything.
They're not invasive at all. Like, not at all. They are there, yes, but they do not say to you, not once have I had one single pop-up asking me for money. Not one.
Yeah.
Not once. It's not happened. So, pain. Also, I'll be giving away this amazing crate behind me if you're watching the video. It's got a chill bottle in it. It's got a crocodile in it. It's got a face mask in it, which 2K sent me. So I'll be giving it away on my Twitter. So if you want to win a WWE Battleground crate of goodies, go check out my Twitter. I'll be putting up a link there very, very soon. So I'll talk about it on the podcast before we do that anyway. Let's run through these last few stories really fast. So this is this week's dashboard. Speaking of this week's dashboard, we launched a brand new show, Crash, which is this week's dashboard, which is our new show now that we're doing with Mr. Don't Give a Bit. If you haven't checked it out, it did fantastic numbers, and the YouTube comments were super amazing to him. But if you haven't checked it out yet, go and check it out. It's a great show where it just gives you a bite-sized piece of content with the news each week. So every Saturday that'll be coming out, every Saturday morning GMT. So yeah, go check it out. It's definitely worth it. I definitely think so anyway.
Agreed.
First piece of news is all about the Series X and Series S pre-orders. You can pre-order we've said this before, but I wanted to reiterate it again so people knew dates and times and things of that nature. You can pre-order the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S November 10th. It will cost you $499 or £449. The Xbox Series S price will cost you $229 or £249. You can get there's placeholder pages for America already on Amazon and on Microsoft. You can get this all on IGN, so go check it out there. There's also placeholders in the UK on Amazon and Game as well in the UK. So if you're okay with using those retailers, that's where you can get it from. The retailer stores you'll be able to buy it from is Microsoft Store, Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, Target, Sam's Club, and Newegg in the US. And in the UK, we have got Smith's Game, Very, and a few others. But they're the main ones that you'll be able to pre-order it from. So obviously keep that in mind when pre-ordering. You'll be able to pre-order it on the 22nd of September, and I only know the GMT time, but it's 8 a.m. in the... Oh, no, it says it right here, I believe. I think it's 8 a.m. No, I don't think that's right, actually.
It's 8 a.m. for you.
It's 8 a.m.
3 a.m. for EST.
Yeah.
And it's 12 for PST. If it's done by one time zone, it's available everywhere. I don't know if it's being done time to... I imagine they would have said if it was like time zone by time zone. So I'm assuming it's just universally at whatever time they gave out.
Yeah. So I just wanted to go over that. It's coming soon. I don't want any of my Xbox and me listeners to miss out on either of these consoles for not knowing. So be prepared.
Yeah. And if you're getting all access, if you're doing the all access, I don't know how it works in the UK, but you do have to go through and get your credit. You can get that pre-approved because they use a certain website. I would look into it. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Get yourself pre-approved before the 22nd. That's when it goes live, right?
Yes.
Pre-orders.
Yes.
Yeah. So get yourself pre-approved before that if you plan on going on all access. So, because I'm sure the all access, even being pre-approved, will probably be a little bit longer than the normal version.
Yeah.
So just be prepared.
Be prepared. I've got some information. My Xbox and me as a YouTube channel and company, we're doing this obviously 5+ years. I've been covering Xbox. Doesn't look like we'll be getting review units. It doesn't look like it. This is not a go and attack anybody, so do not do that. That's not what I'm saying. But we are big enough now and we are large enough now to have a voice in the industry. And I feel like we warrant it, to be honest with you. There's influencers out there that don't even care about Xbox half as much as what we do, and the amount of time and effort and things we do to cover the industry. Let people know on Twitter. If you are someone who wants my Xbox and me to get a review unit at Xbox UK, at Xbox, whoever else you need to at, Jeff Rubenstein, whoever else it is that you need to at about getting myself a review unit or getting Crash a review unit, let people know. Because we've gone under the radar for long enough, I feel like, and we've been doing this long enough now, that we need to show that our audience is big and that we have a voice and we have people listening and we have people depending on us to give them that amazing Xbox news. No, we're not Kind of Funny. No, we're not GameSpot. No, we're not IGN. But we have a dedicated audience, and it breaks my heart a little bit, if I'm honest with you, especially for how long it is I've been doing this, and consistently, never missed a week of my Xbox and me, ever. Show got lost this week, we re-record. Me and Chris did an hour and a half, 2-hour show. Like, we don't mess up, we don't miss, you know? And I'm not saying we are entitled to anything, we're not, but I just want these brands and these companies, and especially Xbox, to know us. So use your voice on Twitter, use your voice on Instagram. I don't care what you've got to do, whether it's screenshotting the show and saying we love this show, they deserve units, whatever it is, just let people know for us. I would really appreciate that. So if you can do that, please do. The last story this week is all about Hogwarts Legacy, and it's about how J.K. Rowling isn't directly involved with Harry Potter. I haven't read this one, so I'm going to read it off the top. There's a couple of pieces of news I can't crash, which was the news about what game is it? Beyond Good and Evil 2's creator, or someone that's working on the game higher up, is now not working on the game, but we'll talk about all that on next week's show, because we'll probably be recording on Tuesday anyway. So, yeah. Here we go. At long last, WE Game, this is from IGN, sorry, Matt TM Kim, by the way. At long last, WE Games reveals its upcoming Harry Potter RPG, Hogwarts Legacy. But given the recent controversy around series author J.K. Rowling, WB Games clarified that Rowling has no direct involvement with the Magic RPG developed by Avalanche. The basis for Hogwarts Legacy comes from the Harry Potter young adult novels written by J.K. Rowling, who has come under fire recently due to the belief she made public about let me get this right. She made public that are considered transphobic. Rowling's vigorous comments on gender, as well as plot points in her Communal Strike mystery novel that she's written under the pen name Robert Galbraith, has been accused of transphobia and has faced public backlash. Actors from the Harry Potter series and the Fantastic Beasts films as Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Eddie Redmayne have come out in support for trans rights publicly. Along the lines of this, on the official FAQ page for the RPG, published by WB Games, the company has confirmed that, quote, J.K. Rowling is not directly involved in the creation of the game, but adds her extraordinary body of writing is foundation for all of the projects in the Wizarding world. So take of that of what you will. We've kind of spoke on this already early on in the show, but go if you even have an ounce of doubt in your mind or what you should do, go and speak to the people that this is actually affecting. Like Crush said, I totally agree with him on that. Find out what you can do to support. I don't think there's anything you can do, if I'm honest. If I'm honest, it's don't support this game because you don't want to line their pockets, or know what you're doing. I don't think knowing what you're doing is a bad thing, though. Honestly, I'm not someone that's on the mind of, like, don't enjoy the medium. Because if I did that, there's so many people that have been cancelled lately. One of my favourite artists, Wwe, said some things about the Jewish community. I do not support anything that Wiley said in the way he said it. After watching interviews with what he said as well, it was an interesting conversation that he was trying to get out there. Didn't work. He said it the wrong way. Things of that nature. I don't think it's quite that easy with J.K. Rowling. She is just being a complete and utter arsehole, unfortunately. But yeah, go and do your due diligence. Go and figure it out. You owe it to yourself to go and do that.
Yep. I 100% agree.
Games with Gold this month, Crash, September 2020. Division 1 available from September 1st to September 30th. The Book of Unwritten Tales, September 2nd to September 16th. The Blob 2 will be available from September 1st to September 15th. You can't get that anymore. I'm sorry. And Armed and Dangerous from September 16th to September 30th. Crash, let's plug and get ourselves out of here. What you got to plug this week?
Go on iTunes, everybody. I want you guys to find the My Xbox and Me podcast. I want you guys to give us a rating. I want you guys to leave a comment. And once they get to 100, Fix is giving away a pair of A40s. New ear muffs, right?
New headphones.
Yeah.
Headphones.
So
A40s. A40 headphones for you guys. Just to do a review that costs you nothing apart from your time, which is hard. I understand. Time is a lot.
Yeah.
We're wasting it right now.
if you really want those, you'd also grab your mom's iPod, your dad's, your
sisters,
grandma's,
brothers,
sisters, brothers, cousins, all that.
Literally, review it. You just need an
In
account.
fact, go do it right now. Forget what Fix is plugging. It's irrelevant. Go review the podcast.
I was on GameSpot this week, so definitely not irrelevant. Go and check it out. GameSpot After Dark.
That,
Go check out GameSpot After Dark. It's one of the best conversations I've had on a podcast in a long, long time. It's worth listening to. Please do. You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. Again, just let the people know. Let the people know about My Xbox and Me. Share it, comment, tag the right people. Let them know that we are not to be played with and we are a fantastic community that deserves some support. All we need is support. All we need is a chance. You know, we will do it off our own back. We will do unboxings. We will buy the consoles. I've probably alone, before Crash was even on this show, I've sold more Xboxes than most people. Generally. I've cultivated such an audience that come to me for specifically Xbox news on a regular base. I'm just asking for a chance. That's all. Until next time, guys, thank you all for watching. I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.